welcome to our live stream today. I'm Michelle, Education Director with ASIS, coming to you with some more great information on things that are happening in our wellness community and massage community, and great products and things to add to your practice. So today's guest is Liz Aigner from Color Up, which is a wellness center in Colorado that is one of the pioneers and very well-respected organization group that has it brought in CBD products into their wellness services and has expanded out to provide those the products out to others and including the education out to others. So I wanted to bring somebody on from this group so that we could talk a little bit more about this and find out more about how someone could include this into their session. So without further ado, let's bring Liz in. Hi, Liz.
Hello, thanks for
Hi,
having
nice.
me.
Yes, thanks for coming on. I'm glad we were able to finally make this connection and make it
Yeah.
happen. So, yeah, so Liz and I met at a ABMP school forum back in April, I think it was. And yeah, you guys gave out really great samples of your products and were really fun to talk to. And so I thought this is something our students are asking us about a lot with, I get the questions like, can we use the products? How do we use it? How do we find out reputable companies? And I said, I don't know because I don't use it. I've just not been educated in it. And so why not bring in an expert? So I appreciate you taking the time out today to come in. If you don't mind, first, if we can start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and first how you got into the industry and maybe a little bit lead up to how you kind of found your path over to join the Color Up team?
Yes, absolutely. So actually I'm celebrating 10 years as a massage therapist this November. So
Nice,
I'm very excited.
congratulations.
Yeah, so a decade, which I honestly like flew by. Can't believe it. Thank
Mhm.
you. Um,
Yeah.
I got into massage therapy first and foremost because I was really struggling with an autoimmune disease. I have
Mhm.
systemic lupus. I was diagnosed in 2012 and or 2011. And honestly, massage was like one of the only things in my life at that point that I could get that real great physical and mental and emotional escape from my own body. It took them
Nice.
about 6 months to diagnose me. So within that time, I started getting regular massages, experimenting with more like holistic therapies. I had already been vegan for a little bit, so I had really shifted my diet
Mhm.
quite a bit as well. So at that
Mhm.
time, like I was really going, and I was 21, 22 at the time. So I was having a real hard time for someone in their early 20s. So yeah,
Yeah.
I started getting regular massages, and honestly, it was like the only thing that gave me that escape, made me feel better.
Nice.
So in 2013 or 2012, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been a decade. Yeah. So I guess like
Yeah.
2012,
Yeah.
I went to massage school and I
Mhm.
ended up doing a dual license certificate. So I ended up being licensed in aesthetics and massage. I
Nice.
don't do much with aesthetics anymore, but I just like massage. I knew massage was my path. I knew massage
Yeah.
was like the goal. Once I
Yeah.
started, with the experimental therapies for my lupus, once I could actually be in massage school because I was in a lot of pain for a long time. Um,
Mhm.
so I knew the benefits of massage and being able to support a space and facilitate a space for people to um, just kind of surrender to their body and surrender and give themselves,
Yeah.
60, 90 minutes, 2 hours to like what they need. So that's ultimately how I
Mhm.
got into massage. And then I worked up in Breckenridge. So if anyone is a skier out there,
Mhm.
Breckenridge is like a big ski town in Colorado. So I was living up there at the
Mhm.
time. I started at a resort. I loved resort massage. It was so much fun. Like you
Yeah.
got to work with tourists. The hours were really great. We got to work in these beautiful like ski and ski out resorts, so that was super fun. But
Nice.
ultimately, like 6 months in, I was like, I can't do the resort life anymore. Like I gotta go. I'm gonna go back to Denver. So went back to Denver. I worked in a wellness center there,
Mhm.
where I ended up being like the massage therapist manager and like the lead massage therapist. for a couple
Oh,
years and was doing full-time massage. I really loved it. And then an opportunity came up to actually go back to the school that I had gotten my education from, but it wasn't in massage. I was actually in the administration team, and
okay.
I was doing a lot of like administration stuff. I actually took an 8-month break from massage
Okay.
because at the time, and I, for students, like what you don't, I'd only been massaging a few years at this point, and I was starting to feel super burnt out. I was
Hmm.
massaging full time. I was pretty exhausted,
Yeah.
just like mental, emotionally exhausted. And so I took an administration position just so I could maybe give myself a little bit of space.
Uh-huh.
And then I took an 8-month break. And then my educator who taught, one of my educators who taught me, she was actually leaving. And they approached me and they were like, we know you're in this administration position, but are you interested
Yeah.
in teaching massage? And so I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready to like, get back into it. And
Yeah.
in that process, I became the lead massage therapy educator. I did that for a few years. And then I actually found Color Up through one of my friends who she was working at a spa, and I was
Mhm.
looking at CBD companies and I was like, I really want to bring in CBD. I want to get educated on it. I want to bring it into the school. And she was
Mhm.
like, hey, we carry this brand called Color Up. You should look into them. So I reached out to Color Up and was like, hey, I would love for you guys to do some education like at my school. So they
Right.
came in and they did a big master series for the students. And I talked to Shauna, who's one of the co-founders, and then Emily,
Mhm.
who is no longer with Color Up, but she's amazing.
Mhm.
And I was like, I love your guys' products. Like, thank you for coming in. It was
Mhm.
just such like an eye-opening series for our students. It
Yeah.
was eye-opening for me. And a day later, Shauna and Emily, they sent me an email and they were like, hey, we would love to meet with you. And I was like, sure, like, sounds great. And so I met up with them
Mhm.
and they're like, we really want you to come on and do education for us. And so I started as the vice president of education. And then
Okay.
Emily left a year later to do her practice full time. And so the
Mhm.
last 2 years, I've been the director of education. And that's like how I
Okay.
got into the CBD world and massage CBD world, and
Wow.
that's what I've been doing the last 3 years now. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Wow, what a lot really jam-packed for 10 years. Like, I know, like
yes,
you said, it flew by, and it's probably partly because you had so many great experiences and
yeah,
very sounds to me pretty fulfilling and pretty dynamic positions that you had. So that's pretty cool. And I love to touch on something you said in the beginning about working how you got into the field and working through managing your lupus condition and like the symptoms and such for it. I want to kind of highlight on that, not to get like down the lupus road, but I know there are people that come into the field, or I talk to people sometimes and they'll say, oh, I have this condition, or I'll never be able to do this, and it's something I want to do, but I know my body's not going to allow me to do it. So it's nice to hear from someone who's able to find a way to make it work for them. And I know it's multidimensional, but massage definitely helped with it, and so I appreciate you sharing that part of your story especially. So
yeah. I mean, it's like it was definitely it was more of a catalyst for me than anything, because I was like, I know how amazing massage has helped me during this time of
yeah.
like illness, that and
Mhm.
like physical illness, but like mental and emotional pain as well, like dealing with like depression, anxiety, all the things that
Yeah.
come along, not feeling comfortable in your own body.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I want to facilitate, like, I'm so glad I found someone to facilitate that space for me. Like, I
Yeah.
want to facilitate that space for other people. So it was definitely like a calling for sure. We talk about that a
Yeah.
lot in massage, but it really was like this
Yeah.
big calling. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I find a lot of people do get into the field. And when I talk to the students and when they come in for their first appointment and I ask them about what got them in the field, I got to say probably 80 to 90% of them, it's either they have been helped by massage, or they've been wanting to help, or they've been helping someone in their life with it and they want to just expand on that more. So it's in us, and I'm glad there are people who will pursue it, even though there might be some hesitation. I don't know if I can do it physically, and then they find the way that it works for their body, and just make sure they're doing their self-care as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I do also like that you brought up the idea about burnout, because it does happen. It does happen a lot in our field, and I think a lot of fields where there's a lot of giving of ourselves, and just being not only that emotional and like mental capacity, but of course the physical aspects of it, and to know that it doesn't have to be okay. I'm out of the field and it's the end of it. There are creative ways to still have a kind of a toe in the water and still kind of explore other things at the same time. And you had it back and ready to go when you're ready to jump back into it. So, yeah, I really appreciate that sharing. So thank you.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, very cool. So then Color Up. So can you talk a little bit more about like the company in general? I know it's a pretty multidimensional in that, like from what I was reading about the history and what I've heard when you were at the event, and sounds like there's a couple approaches. That there's the wellness center for locals, but then it's grown into something so much more. So I'll kind of like let you like lead in however you want to start talking about it, because I know it's a big part of the conversation.
Yeah, Color Up is definitely, like you said, I think multidimensional is a great way to put it. We have three co-founders. We have Shauna, Bryce, and Will. Shauna and Bryce, at the time, they shared a dog named Callie. And Callie had a cancer diagnosis.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that's what happens to people, but yes, our beloved pet friends as well. And they started treating her with super high amounts of THC at the time, which the THC, like, it got rid of, like, the tremor. She had her appetite back. But with the high amounts of THC in animals, it doesn't always work. It doesn't bind to the enzymes appropriately. So
Mm.
she was still getting kind of dizzy, and she wasn't quite feeling back to herself. So
Mhm.
then we're like, we should try CBD. So they started treating Callie with high amounts of CBD, and it got rid of her tremors. It reduced her tumor tumor reduction. She got her appetite back. She could sleep better. She could go on walks
Mhm.
again. She just wasn't in as much pain from the
Mhm.
cancer. Unfortunately, she had passed long ago, but it did extend her life a lot longer, and she was a
Mhm.
lot more comfortable in the last few years of her life with the CBD. They start this The owners decided not to go the pharmaceutical route, and they wanted to go the more holistic route, hence like
Mhm.
why Color Up has been born. So
Yeah.
our even though we're a spa company and we focus on skincare and massage, our
Mhm.
very first products were actually pet care products. So
Oh,
that's always kind of like a fun thing to tell people.
uh-huh.
The wellness center is amazing. Like, I have two dogs. They're actually out here with me right now, but I bring Indy, my oldest dog, with me into the wellness center. Usually when you walk into the wellness center, there can be a range from 2 to 4 or 5 dogs at the wellness center. So
Oh,
we always tell people, we're like, if you don't like dogs, this is probably not the place for you.
yeah.
Probably not the place for you. But we always tell people, like, they're here, part of your wellness journey. We believe that
Mhm.
animals, just, we're so attached, and so we create so much of an amazing relationship, like, with our animals.
Mhm.
And I mean, I can just get emotional even talking about it. Like, I
Yeah.
know that CBD has extended the life. My oldest dog, she'll be 13 this
Mhm.
December. So, and I have another boxer who's 8 years old, and they get
Mhm.
CBD with every single meal that they have, just to extend the quality of their short
Mhm.
lives. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's the wellness center is beautiful. It's in Denver. We have 10-ish practitioners. We've
Mhm.
got 8 treatment rooms. We do aesthetics, massage. We do holistic aesthetics. We do more. Veronica, who's Envious Brow, she's amazing. She does more like microblading, more of those like neti spa
Okay.
services. We've got lashes. We've got Reiki. We have people that come in that don't share a space at the wellness center, who come in and do sound bath classes and breathwork
Okay.
classes. I do my yo massage classes there, so you can
Mhm.
come in and take a class. Claudia does paint and cannabis classes. So there's all sorts of, like, really, there's something for everyone, and we've
Yeah.
really just created this community of people who are all really aligned in a holistic way, and who are everyone there is just so synergistic with the way that we flow and
Mhm.
move within the wellness center. And I'm just so thankful that I get to be a part of it, because they really created a beautiful, beautiful space.
Yeah, it sounds so interesting. So, are a lot of the treatments CBD related, or is that not necessarily like hand in hand?
Yeah, so everyone in the wellness center does use Color Up products to
Mhm.
some extent. All of the products that I use are Color Up. I use the oil, I use the lotions, I use both of the salves for massage. All the estheticians use some of the products as well. I mean, aesthetics is different because they kind of mix and match some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone uses Color Up products,
Okay.
which is kind of like part of the vibe. You know, you come in to like
Mhm.
see Color Up and use Color Up, so you want other people to experience those products as
I
well.
love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So let's say there's people that are watching that might not really understand what CBD is, and I know there's like confusion sometimes because it's related. You had mentioned THC, and sometimes it gets confused for THC or a combination or something. So I guess without getting into like the microbiology of things and things like that, but could you explain a little bit about what the CBD component is and how it gets used in different avenues and products and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So, a great place to start is really understanding what CBD is. Cannabis is the species of plant. So, I think about I have two dogs, right? I have a Rottweiler and I have a Boxer.
Mhm.
They're under the same species of they're canines, right? They're
Mhm.
descendant from wolves, like they're under canines, but they're two completely different dogs, and that's
Mhm.
how cannabis works as well. So cannabis is actually the species of plant, and then you
Mhm.
have marijuana, and then you have hemp. So marijuana is what you're going to find in a dispensary, you know, in legal
Mhm.
states. Congrats to Arizona as well, because I know you
Yeah.
guys have legal the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So anything you're going to find in dispensary is going to have high amounts of THC. CBD is under the hemp family. So even
Mhm.
though, again, they're under the same cannabis umbrella, they're going to be completely two different plants. So
Mhm.
CBD has a range of medical benefits, from anxiety, depression to pain, inflammation.
Mhm.
Basically, you name it, CBD in some aspect can be used as a tool to like help you heal. Um,
Mhm.
I started using, I mean, because of my lupus, I've been using CBD, you know, previously to finding Color Up. But I guess I could rant about finding a good source, but I'll wait on that as
Right. That's
well.
yeah. I definitely
Yeah,
want to
finding
bring
a
that
good
up.
source. Yes.
Mhm.
But CBD, it's legal in all 50 states. THC is federally illegal.
Mhm.
So we know that THC is not going to be legal in all 50 states. It's a state by state regulation. So,
Mhm.
what we regulate in Colorado will be different than the regulatory agency that you guys use in Arizona.
Mhm.
But just knowing that they're two different things, I think allows people a little bit of ease to just know that
Mhm.
being like, hey, I'm not going to get high. I'm not going to have psychoactive effects from using CBD.
Mhm.
You know, we can talk about pure and full spectrum products as well. We have pure
Mhm.
CBD, which is just an isolate cannabinoid. And then we have full spectrum products, which are going to be an array of cannabinoids. Color Up
Mhm.
offers both. So even
Okay.
if you're a little nervous to use the full array of cannabinoids that have a teeny,
Mhm.
teeny little bit of THC in them, you can just use a pure CBD product, which is
Okay.
still super, super effective.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, because I think a lot of because it kind of sometimes falls under this marijuana umbrella. Some people are like, oh, that's, am I going to get high from it? Do I have to worry about the legality behind it? And so it gets a little confusing. And I know if somebody's not partaking in any kind of, the products definitely don't understand at all and just hear like the things from other people and stuff, so thanks for clarifying that. And you did mention about the qualities as such too, and I know we've had students ask and people have come into the clinic here and wanting to know if we use it, and students asking me my opinion about what I think is a good product, and from my very small amount of research I feel like there's so many products out there and so many people saying like they have this great product and it's been can do all these great things, but then there's different prices on things, and why is one more than another, and how do you really know if something's going to work or not, or can anyone just slap on this label and you don't even know like how much of the component is actually in there, and is it really, it's more of a yeah, what's the word I'm looking for when it's I don't know why I'm just blanking, when you don't have the real placebo, the
Yeah,
placebo
totally.
effect or not. And so that I think gets so confusing and overwhelming because there's so many products on the market. And I just don't even know like where to really start if I didn't have, people I could talk to and have the education. So um can you speak a little bit to that and kind of acknowledging the challenges that we have as body workers or even consumers, how do we find the right products if we want to
Yeah,
try?
absolutely. So the first thing, do not buy your CBD at a gas station. Just
Yeah.
don't do that. That's gonna be like if you take
Sushi
anything,
and CBD.
yeah,
Don't do
if you
it.
take anything away from this chat, it's do not buy your CBD from a gas station.
Yeah.
Um, because it's there. It's at gas stations. It's at
Yeah.
grocery stores. It's everywhere.
Mhm.
My but in all actuality, the number one thing you need to look for when buying CBD is to make sure that it's organic. You
Mhm.
want to make sure that the hemp that they are using in their CBD products is that it's coming from an organic farm.
Mhm.
Hemp is a bioaccumulate plant, which
Okay.
means it absorbs everything that it's surrounded by. So it can't be sprayed with pesticides or chemicals or other stuff.
Mhm.
There can't be a farm in a distance that's sprayed with other things because that can be in the air, and then the hemp will be harvested, they'll distill it down, and then the products that we
Mhm.
make will be, those chemicals and those pesticides will be put into the products. So you want to make sure that the number one thing you're looking for is that it is an organic hemp derived
Okay.
plant. Yes. If it doesn't say organic somewhere on the label, just skip it. That's going to be your number one thing.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
number two thing to look for is make sure that the company that you're buying for has a third party tester. So the farm is testing, but then you also have an outside party that is also testing the quality of the CBD. With
Mhm.
that being said, the company should be very transparent about sharing those tests with you. So if you're like, I want to see the quality, I want to see the milligram percentage of this harvest that we got,
Mhm.
or whatever it is, you can actually go onto the Color Up website. You can download all of our COAs, which stands for Certificate of Analysis. And you can
Mhm.
go on there and see every single plant that we've used and harvested in all of our products to make sure that they are up to quality. So those are going to be the two main things that you look for as far as just like um, organic and making sure that the company has transparency in that way. The
Mhm.
third thing is just going to be professional preference.
Mhm.
Does the company offer full spectrum? Does the company offer just pure options? Does the company also have back bar options, wholesale options, which we do, which is amazing. There's a
Mhm.
lot of CBD companies that just offer retail, which is
Mhm.
awesome, and they're great companies. But if you're
Yeah.
looking to maybe carry CBD, in your private practice or in your education massage clinic, you want to make sure that the company is available to give you wholesale options and back bar options, so that you're able to use it for yourself, but then you're also able
Mhm.
to retail it to your clients as well. And
Okay.
so you're not wholesaling and retailing two different items. Because again, a lot of companies they'll be like, yeah, we just only offer retail, but then they're
Mhm.
using a different CBD like in the treatment room. And that feels there's a little bit of a disconnection there for me.
Yeah.
So everything that I'm using in my treatment room, like I can sell directly to my clients as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense because I would hate to like, oh, I want to try this, and then I get it home and it's not what I was using before. So
Yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense. That's
Exactly.
and use the term full spectrum. Can you expand on what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. So full spectrum products, um, it's going to include 5 different cannabinoids. These are the highest testing cannabinoids available to us.
Mhm.
The hemp plant has over 100 known cannabinoids, but there are 5 that are highest testing that have been tested for the most medicinal properties. So it's
Okay.
going to be CBD, CBN, CBG, CBC, and then 0.3% or less than THC. So
Okay.
I think another great common misconception is people are a little afraid of THC if they're not regular cannabis users. But I
Mhm.
think we have to remember as being in education, and there's a lot of propaganda out there that
Mhm.
THC in very, very small doses and micro doses actually has a ton
Mhm.
of medicinal properties and a ton of medicinal benefits. So that
Mhm.
small amount of THC with those other cannabinoids creates that entourage effect for our bodies. So you are getting the most medicinal effect, taking it
Mhm.
internally, using it with that THC.
Mhm.
We don't carry broad spectrum. Broad spectrum would be the 4 cannabinoids minus the THC,
Okay.
but we carry full spectrum and pure CBD. We also have a CBN and a pure CBG as well available for sublinguals. Um,
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that you can look for as far as like what you're interested in like using in a
Mhm.
massage room. um, Another great thing to remember about the small amounts of THC is that THC, topically, if someone has like psoriasis, eczema, any type of like itchy skin, just even like dry
Mhm.
skin. Arizona's dry, Colorado's super dry.
Mhm.
THC is actually really, really beneficial for like dry, itchy skin. So
Okay.
that's something to keep in mind too when people are like, "Oh, I'm like nervous to use THC," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Well, topically, it doesn't work the same way topically that it does
Mhm.
internally for us."
Mhm.
So we always tell people we're like, education is like the main number one thing. How we want to focus on. Sharing with our clients so that we're like, there's no reason to be afraid. There's no reason for us
Yeah.
to hold back and not be able to use a product that could really, really benefit us, because it has a little bit of that THC in it, because it does have those medicinal properties.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, so to understand definitely the difference between how it's either absorbed or ingested in the body is different. So,
Yes.
great takeaway from that. So in absorbing in the body, so us as massage therapists, do we need to be a little more concerned if we're applying a product onto a client? Is it if we didn't want to absorb those qualities, do we need to wear gloves, or is it so minimal it doesn't really matter? What are some of I'm guessing you go through a lot of this in your education, which we'll talk about later, but kind of a little bits. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question too, because I get a lot of massage therapists who are like, if I do 4 or 5 massages a day, like, am I going to feel any side effects from using products? And the answer is just no, you're not. Like, what's really amazing is that you're receiving the benefits that your clients are receiving by using a high
Mhm.
quality CBD product. So
Mhm.
because our clients are experiencing pain, inflammation, even like dry skin, on
Mhm.
topically, we're also we because we use our hands and our shoulders and our forearms, and ashiatsu, we use our
Mhm.
feet and our knees, and Thai
Yeah.
massage, like there's all the modalities.
Right.
But we're also receiving those benefits like while we're using the product. So while our
Mhm.
hands are in the oil and the lotions and the salves, like, I'm not as in much pain at the end of a full day of massage as if I don't use CBD, because I'm also
Mm.
receiving those benefits. I'm not high. I'm not like, there's no psychosis. There's
Yeah.
nothing to be afraid of. It's
Mhm.
all just benefits topically for inflammation and pain. So you can use it all day, every day, and not have a side effect there.
Oh, very cool. That's so interesting to know. Very nice. So in the products, let's talk a little bit about color up. So I'm gonna put the make sure I have the website coming up on the site here. So this is the Color Up website. So can you give us some examples of what kind of products? I know you've mentioned like salves and but what are some of the items that you maybe personally use in or hear a lot of clients maybe really enjoy or request? What are some ideas of that?
Yeah, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I use like literally all the products, and probably products that normally massage therapists wouldn't use. So I'll even share
Mm.
my little tidbit secrets with you guys.
Okay.
Um, I'm an oil person all the way. So I was trained in oil. I love
Um,
oil. My style is like very fluid, flowy, like lots of oil.
nice.
So we offer like a pure CBD and a full spectrum oil. My clients love the oil out here because it is so dry in Denver,
Mhm.
that you can come in and you can actually feel hydrated. The oil is amazing. It's got jojoba in it. It's got grapeseed. It's like a very luxurious massage oil. So
Mhm.
anything from Swedish to deep tissue to lomi lomi, like, you can really do all sorts of great stuff with the oil. Um,
Nice.
the lotion, the massage lotion, like the back bar size, is awesome. It's a nice, thick lotion that you can use for deep tissue, neuromuscular work,
Mhm.
anything that requires a little bit more grip. The lotion is going to be awesome. I love the lotion for feet, specifically, just because it's a little bit thicker. Again, it comes in pure CBD and a full spectrum option. We do wholesale and back bar. So you could
Okay.
order a half gallon of those, or you can order a full gallon as well. So that's something to keep in mind. And I know a lot of with a lot of students want to own their own practices one day, right? Which
Mhm.
I'm like totally supportive of. So something to keep in mind is that sometimes spas or practitioners will be like, your oil and lotion are like more expensive. And you're like, yep, because they have CBD in them. So that's something to keep in mind. But two, that's something to know when you're creating your business and your menu and your business plan, is that you need to price your sessions accordingly with the CBD.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're going to use a CBD oil, the question is are you going to offer it for everyone for everything, and it's going to be at one inclusive price? That's how I run my business. I have one price. It's CBD for all of it, and that's just how I integrate the price into my menu. Or are
Right.
you going to do add-ons, right? Are you going to charge $10, $15, $25, $30 for a CBD add-on? And if you're offering an add-on, are you going to just only use oil, only use lotion, only use the salves? So that's a whole other topic. I'm sure I could talk
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
all day. But that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at the price of things, is that how are you going to integrate these products?
Right.
In our prices, and it's something that we are very proud of, is that we really try to make our prices affordable for a single practitioner all the way up to a high-end spa.
Yeah.
So we want our prices to be attainable for a student who is starting, or student who just graduates and is starting their own practice. Like, we want people to
Right.
feel inclusive when they're choosing a line, so that they feel supported by the product as well, not just by us and like
Right.
customer service and education and all of
Yeah.
that. So yeah, that's a whole other topic, and I'm happy to always like. I can. Michelle has my email, so if anyone
Yeah.
wants my information, you guys can shoot me.
Well, you
Shoot
brought
me
up a couple of really good points, and I actually have the website pulled out on my other screen, so I was going to share that too, so people can kind of get an idea of what's available there. But the fact about having a customer service, so that's another reason, like not only quality of items, but when I buy something, it's really nice to know if I have a question on the item, I have somebody I can call up and ask a question on. It's not some huge conglomerate that I have to call on the 800 number, and then maybe somebody might get back to me or not. And the person I talked on the phone doesn't have a clue what's going on. So that is something to say about understanding that's the quality of company that you're dealing with, and the kind of company, right? If you're good with buying things off, a big box store site or something like that, and it works for you or whatever, and you never have to ask someone a question, fine. But it does speak a lot to especially when something like this that could interact, like you're wondering about interactions, or you're just have some concerns, you want to give more information to your clients, and how do I word this? Like, it's really nice to know I have somebody who's going to help me with it if I'm working with that company. And then the other part that you brought up that I really wanted to enhance, and I think like you like stopped yourself because you don't want to go any further, but I want to go a little further in that how much something costs. So I know people do have sometimes, well, this is cheaper to go here, or it's cheaper to buy this here, or students worried about underpricing, overpricing, that kind of thing. And but also knowing that, yes, I might buy something it costs a little bit more money for me as a practitioner, but if it makes my life easier and it makes the quality of the massage better and my clients are feeling better, it's an investment in it. So like we talk about using like positioning systems. Sometimes people don't want to, put that money in, but if you're always using special positions for your clients or helping certain population, that's really going to pay for itself in no time. Electric tables, that being able to be able to move your person in. Yes, is it a couple $1,000s for a really great table, but doesn't it make your life easier? So in that respect, with the costs of things, you have to look more big picture. Are you going to be a better practitioner for it? Like, so I really am glad that you brought that up, because it makes people think about that too.
Well, and it's the biggest piece is that, like, I've been massaging 10 years. I still massage. I mean, my full time now is different from when I was full time and I was just starting out. But CBD will make your career last longer, and I will die on that hill. Like, I will absolutely die on that hill as like a seasoned massage therapist. Like, CBD will make your massage last longer. It will make your massage last longer, but also make your career last so much longer, because again, you're getting all of those benefits. So you are investing. I'm fully booked. On a fully booked week, I only do 90-minute sessions. I do 12 sessions a week. That's all I do now. Just because when I was first starting out, I was doing 20 something sessions a week, and there's no way that I could do that now, but I do 12 sessions a week. I do only 90 minutes. And I know that the quality of my massages is because I limit the amount of massages I do per week, the prices that I charge, and the products that I use. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely, like that's been like my kind of business model the last 3 years with my practice, and
Hmm.
CBD has been a huge part of that. So if you're wanting your career to last, definitely invest in some
Hmm.
CBD. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And there's, and part of like us talking about this conversation too, I also, I don't want to tell students like make sure you're all doing CBD. We're all about education and knowing that there's a lot of things that you can or can't do. And some people come to the field and like I think it's kind of cheating to use things that aren't just my hands, or I'm not into these new ideas of things and stuff. And it's everyone's got to find what works for them and makes things I don't want to use the word easier, but I think it is a pretty good. Like, why not make it easier for you? And why work harder if you find something that works for you? So we talk about, cupping, and some people like washa, and some people like, all different kinds of tools. And this is just another tool that could be great and introduced well into your practice. So that's why I want to make sure people watching that know that this is all we're trying to educate. So
Yep.
I know for me, I didn't understand full spectrum and all the different kinds of things, and very impressed with your knowledge on that. So that really helps
Oh,
a lot
thank you.
for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and also just like with education, it's like I also thought tools were like super lame. When I first became a
Mhm,
massage
mhm.
therapist, I was like, no, like I'm not using a
Yeah.
thumb saver, like I'm not using
Yeah.
whatever. And my practice now is like, yes, I absolutely use like my hands and my body to like
Mhm,
give and
mhm,
facilitate healing. But if anyone out there is watching and you're interested in a modality that frees up your hands a little bit, go for
mhm.
it, because it's going
Yeah.
to make your career last longer.
Yeah.
And guess what? Your clients are going to come back to you with these different tools that you have because you've created and specialized such a special experience for them and a safe place for
Mhm.
them to be at.
Yeah.
And CBD is part of that. And it's not going to,
Mhm.
and I think we get a lot of people that are like, I want CBD to fix my life, right? And
Mm.
that's not the case. CBD isn't going to fix anything.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just it is only a tool, and it is only going to elevate what you're already doing. So, and
Mhm.
that's what I like to explain to students is that like your what you're doing is already so sacred and special that
Mhm.
CBD is just going to help elevate that whole experience. So
Yeah.
that's my own little hippy
Yeah,
dippy kind of
I
2 cent
love that.
moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, and be open-minded. I'm like I'm 20 years now in the field, and I'm like, why did I resist this so long? Or what is this new thing that I didn't know about 40 years ago? This kind of like it sounds
Right,
not
right,
new.
right.
It's been around forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just been like very resistant and like yeah. So, but I did want to share the my screen real quick so we could just take a little gander on some of the items here. So we do have the Pro line. I just see the pet line is up there. And so Lifeline, is that more like at home kind of items
Yes.
or
Yep.
okay.
So Lifeline is going to be our available retail items. You can
Mhm.
retail these, or people can buy them online. The
Okay.
Pro line is going to be only for professionals, along with the back bar. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we have you have salves and you have the things that you use for aesthetics as well in here, like the hydrating things for the face and such. But yeah, lots of different items available here, and I really love the color packaging. It's really fun.
Very
Um,
spa. Yes.
Yes, yes, it's very, very nice. So lots of different items here. Ooh, peptide serum. Just think,
Hmm.
I'm in my mid 40s now, so I know you're supposed to start thinking about it when you're in your 20s, but whenever. I'm sorry, I'm
There's
reading more
time.
on. I've never been one of those girls to like read peruse all the like fashion magazines, things like that. So now I'm like, what are these like again? What are these new things that everyone else knows
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, a lot of great quality items in here. Did I so is this like the like lotion? Is that kind of the lotion that
Yes.
you're talking? Okay, so
That
if
is
I
the balance is the professional lotion that you could use during session. The
okay,
salves that are on the screen, actually, I would love to chat about the salves as well. Like, I
yeah,
love the balance. The CBD, it comes in pure or it comes in the full spectrum.
okay,
And it really is, people always ask me, like, should I use lotion or should I use oil? And I always tell them, like, what do you like? What do you like?
yeah, yeah,
Choose what you like, because
yeah,
my style is going to be different from Michelle's
mhm,
style.
yeah,
So we want to make sure that you just have a really great product for what you like.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. Okay, so we have the salves, right? And
yes,
let's pull up one of those so we can talk about that.
the salves are amazing. I'm obsessed with them. I use these. So the sensation salve is exactly that. There's a really amazing sensation that goes along with it. There's a really
Mhm.
beautiful essential oil blend in the sensation salve. It has a camphor and menthol blend along with other essential oils. But it really creates this cooling, heating sensation for your clients. So it's really great as a spot treatment. I would not obviously use this for full body,
Mhm.
but really amazing for if when you're ending the back, like put on a layer of sensation salve. If someone has like a spot like on their knees or their hips, you can use it.
Mhm.
Even for feet, I love it for summer. I know we're ending, summer is ending now, but you guys are in
It goes
Arizona.
forever over
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I'm like, you guys got a lot of summer over there.
yeah.
Um, but the sensation salve is great for feet. It's very cooling. And just create it increases circulation and also has a really awesome terpene blend that our head formulator slash co-founder Will created. And
Mhm.
there's something to be said about terpene blends within CBD products is because it actually just like enhances the way the product works. So this is one of our only products with a terpene blend in it, and it is absolutely one of my top two favorite products.
Okay. All right. Very
Yeah.
cool. I love that. That's so awesome. And so if somebody wants to, this I think is a good segue into understanding how some of these products work and some of the things we've been talking about, how to incorporate into your session. You do offer education for the professional. So I'll first let's see, I think this is I can get to it through this way because I do have the link and I'll
Yeah.
put the link on, but if I go this way, so you do have the education classes,
Yep.
and this one in particular is the one we were talking about, right? Is the master program.
Yes.
So do you, I'll put it up so people can see how it's kind of laid out here. But then I'll put the link when I stop sharing my screen. But can you talk a little bit about the program then?
Yes. We've worked really hard on this program. This is kind of my main shtick as the director of education. This program takes you through what CBD is, the benefits of it, how it works, how you use it, how to retail it, how to set up your Square account,
Mhm.
just kind of everything and anything you need to know as a fundamental person going into using CBD in a spa treatment space. So this has everything. Another great thing about this program is that the regular price is $249. That's our year-round pricing.
Mhm.
Um, you get $150 worth of products when you sign up for the program. So you're
Nice.
technically only paying like $99 for the education, and then you're getting $150 of free product. So kind of
Nice.
look at it that way.
Mhm.
Once you sign up for the program, you have lifelong access. It's not timed, or I don't know, like there's no sequencing to it. Like you can have it as
Mhm.
long as you want. So if you're like, oh, like I don't remember how CBD interacts this way, you can go into the program and go back to the modules and rewatch the modules as many times as you need.
Mhm.
Especially if you have clients that come in and they're like, I'm having trouble with sleep, like how does
Mhm.
CBD work with sleep?
Yeah.
And you can go back into the program and go back into the complimentary courses as many times as you need to fully understand and give that and share that education with your clients.
Nice.
So yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Take it. It's
And
awesome.
it is NCB approved, right, for existing
So it has. So how we kind of had to do a loophole with this.
okay.
How that works is because cannabis is federally illegal,
Mhm.
NCTMB, they are technically like a federal organization and they will not approve CBD as
Okay.
a CE course.
Okay.
So, how we went about it is that I created a refresher deep tissue course that
Mhm.
is whatever related. And so it's accredited for one CE credit.
Okay.
Um, so we kind of did a loophole in that way because we wanted to make sure that we were still able to offer a little bit of something. We get
Mhm.
that question a lot about like, is it going to be approved for CE credits? And
Mhm.
the CBD is not, but we somehow
Mhm.
made a little loophole around it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know because we want to know when we're a consumer, we want to know what we're getting into for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
it's really nice to have education around something that I'm about to use because there's so many times I can just go on Amazon and buy something and start using it on my clients, but am I really doing it correctly, or am I worried about contraindications? Have I even thought about that? So it's nice
Right.
that now I can have something to back me up on this. So that's a great product, great solution. So I did want to put on here the actual, so you can go to the color, do what I did and go to colorupco.com to, and then click on the education part. But there's also this link specifically that goes right to all the classes and pieces that you offer, and the one being the master program there that comes with that extra product. That's really cool. It's like very great investment if it's something that you want to do for sure. Um, what would you say to anybody who's like kind of on the fence and doesn't know if they want to make the investment? How would they go about maybe of like a little baby step into it?
Sure. Well, another plug that I'll put for Color Up as well is that we don't have minimum orders on
Mhm.
our wholesale accounts. So once you get licensed and you get your license and you have your
Mhm.
all your massage therapy information, you can sign up for a wholesale account through Color Up. What's really amazing about that is that, let's say you're like, I just want to try some products. Like, you're like, I don't want to
Mhm.
invest or commit to a full gallon of massage oil right now, which
Yeah.
totally understandable. You can go in and you can just order what you want to try. So if you want to try little sample sizes of the salve, if you want to try the
Mhm.
retail 4 ounce sizes of the lotion or oil, you absolutely can. That's something that we make accessible to single, like solo practitioners,
Mhm.
so that they're able just to buy what they need, and they don't need to be.
Nice.
It doesn't need to be a $500 minimum order for starting
Mhm.
out. So that's just something that's really nice that we do that a lot of other companies don't do.
Yeah.
Um, if you're just like skeptical about trying anything, I mean, I'm definitely one of those people where I'm definitely more skeptical human being. Like, I'm like, let's see how this. I think I just swallowed a bug. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Colorado,
Oh my
friends.
god, yeah. I was like, I'm sitting on my patio because I've got people inside. So,
Yeah.
oh my god, sorry about that.
That's okay. No worries.
But if you're gonna just try it, like, just try it. Just try it.
Mhm.
Just order what you want. If you are massage therapists, obviously you guys are, like, try the oil, try the salves, and
Mhm.
just see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you never have to order from Color Up, Color Up again. Like, that's
Crazy. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's very cool. And do you offer some advice too, or in the master class about talking your clients into it? Is that something that comes up a lot for people? Trying to, how do you bring that conversation up? Like, what do you do for that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, clients being skeptical of trying massage. They have the same questions you guys did. Like,
Mhm.
will I get high? Like, what are the side effects? What are the
Mhm.
contraindications? Which there
Yeah.
are none. So, it's mostly educating yourself so that you're able
Mhm.
to answer those questions that your clients are going to have. I mean, there's nothing more like nerve wracking than when a client asks you something as a new massage therapist and you're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know the answer to that,
Yeah.
because it's a weird thing to go from student to professional. It's a very
Mhm.
weird transition,
Yeah.
because all of a sudden you're a professional. People are
You're the
looking at you for
authority
answer.
now.
Yeah, like, you're the
Yeah.
authority now,
Yeah.
exactly. So really educating yourself and being able to answer those questions, and also being humble and being like, I don't know the answer to that. Like, let me find
Mhm.
out for you, and you can
Yeah.
email me. Like, you can email me if you have a question.
Right.
So, making sure that you just feel confident in answering the questions for your clients, because they're
Mhm.
looking to you as that authority now.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's really great. And it's a hard a transition for sure. You're like all of a
It
sudden you're
is.
asking questions and to your instructors, and next thing you know, people are asking you questions. You're like, I don't
Yep.
know. Let me ask the grown up. Where's the grown up?
Yeah,
They're not here
exactly.
anymore. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So, but we're still learning. I'm asking you genuine questions I don't know about. So it's totally okay to not know quite the answer, but know where to find it or who to ask for it. So, yeah, I really love that. So,
Yeah. I
is there?
always say, like, I know nothing. I know
Yeah,
nothing.
I
Like,
know, just a little
yeah.
tiny bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great because there's still more to learn and we can have more fun with more things. It would be boring if we knew everything.
Always.
Um, Yeah. So, is there any other bits or pieces you want to make sure that especially our students, but also this goes out to other people as well, like what about the company or about anything? Any last bits?
I mean, we are just here to support professionals. Like we are into support students. We started Color Up started in a massage school in Denver. So we they started carrying our products and started to get the name out of Color Up and started using the products in their clinic, and we've just grown from there. So I
Mhm.
just want to like let you guys know that like we're here to support you. Like without students and without professionals, we don't exist like in the CBD education realm. So if you need anything, like reach out, but really we're here
Yeah.
to support you guys.
I love that. Thank you so much. I really, really, I learned a lot for sure, and I think this will be really helpful and beneficial for our students that are asking me those questions. Now, next time they ask, I'm like, go check out our page, go look at the
Yeah.
video, and check it out. Um, so I wanted to make sure I got to ask you those 5 fun questions that I ask all our
Oh
guests.
sure, yeah.
So see what kind of fun answers you have. So, which talent or superpower would you most like to have?
Oh my god, I know this like sounds so lame, but I like wish I could teleport so bad. Plane tickets are so expensive.
Yeah. I know it's the best. That's probably the highest highest said
Sure, yeah.
answer for yeah, teleport. And then after that is flying. But yeah,
Nice.
so I love it. If you weren't a massage therapist or you weren't in education for massage therapy, what do you think you'd most likely be doing?
I would be a stay-at-home dog mom. 100%.
Oh,
I I
I
like
wish someone would
I
pay me to do that.
yeah, I would be a stay-at-home dog mom, and I
Yeah.
would go to yoga every day.
Uh,
And it's just so funny because people have asked me like, what would you do if you weren't a massage therapist? And I'm like, I don't
mhm,
know. Like I love
yeah,
massage. Like it's definitely
yeah,
a calling. So stay-at-home dog mom is my final answer.
yeah. Love it. I love it. That's awesome. If money or circumstances weren't issues, where would you most like to live in the world?
I really want to go to Southeast Asia. I think that would be like that's on my definitely on my top list to at least travel to.
Yeah.
But again, just with like the holistic like aspect in massage and spas and wellness and just like
Mhm.
the ancient traditions that are there, like that would
Yeah.
be right up my alley.
Yeah, that's so great. I actually lived in Japan for a couple years, but it was before I knew this is what I wanted to do or was going into. And so I kind of missed moment kind of thing. I wish I had known, but I was also very, very young and probably wouldn't have been as explorative because it's also hop, skip, and a jump to all the different
Oh my god,
countries as
amazing.
well. So yeah, or even just Japan itself with all its anma and shiatsu and things like that.
Oh, amazing.
Totally lost that. Totally lost it. But that's okay. It's still there. I'm still alive. I can go back. Uh, what is your most treasured possession?
I mean, like, I want to say my dog. I know that's, but like honestly, like besides like my family and like my
Oh,
my partner,
yeah,
like my dogs are like my number one. They're
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah. I love
yeah,
that. I'm a big dog person myself.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're the best.
yeah. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
I would tell my 18-year-old self like, don't be so afraid. Like, don't be so
Mhm.
afraid about like how
Tell me I lost. Ah, I got lost. Uh-oh. I don't know if we can still hear us out there. I got blocked out. Oh, lost the connection. We lost Liz. Uh-oh, we lost Liz. So sorry about that. Maybe she'll pop back in. But yeah, internet, you never know what you're gonna get. Um, so I'll give her a second to see if she'll pop in for a nice little for a little wrap up. But if not, I just want to make sure I'm gonna make sure to put the links up here again for ColorUp.co for checking out the products, and also for the education. You can get to it through the main website or to go up to this website to check it out. And so I want to thank Liz a lot and all of everyone up at Color Up for giving us such great information. Definitely check them out if you have more questions about using CBD in your practice. And yeah, let us know how it goes for you. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.